your roadmap to the latest in auto? Welcome to Highway Herald. In April 2025, the global auto industry hit another speed bump. Only this time, it felt like a head-on collision. Cargo stalled, factories scrambled, and the US-China trade war roared back to life. Then, Geneva offered a glimmer of hope, a 90-day tariff truce. But is it a turning point, or just a detour before the next disruption? Let's dive into the ripple effects rocking your next vehicle price. Port chaos unleashed, the shockwaves of the tariff war. April 2025 unleashed a logistical nightmare that sent shockwaves from Asia's busiest ports to America's factory floors. It all started with Trump's bold move, a 145% tariff slapped on $300 billion worth of Chinese imports. China didn't shout back, it simply stopped talking. Within 72 hours, exports to the US plummeted by nearly 47%. Ports in Shanghai and Shenzhen became gridlocked, while Los Angeles echoed the chaos of 2021, with 27 vessels stuck offshore and unloading delays stretching past 96 hours. Shipping rates soared. The cost of a 40-foot container from China to Long Beach spiked from $1,950 to $6,820 in just 10 days. A record-shattering 250% increase according to the Freightos Baltic Index. As contracts froze and bookings vanished, the ripple effects were immediate. Over 1,200 factories in Dongguan shut down. Freight giants like Costco and ZTO halted westbound traffic, citing erratic U.S. tariff enforcement. On the receiving end, Amazon, Home Depot, and Tractor Supply slammed the brakes, canceling orders and rerouting inventory. This wasn't just a shipping crisis, it was a system-wide shock. But the disruption didn't stop at the docks. Next, the skies felt the tremors. Boeing grounded, a calculated strike on America's aviation icon. Then came the next blow, one that hit America's manufacturing ego right in the fuselage. In a quiet directive, China's Ministry of Commerce instructed its state-run airlines to halt all new deliveries from Boeing. No public feud, no safety complaints, just a cold strategic move. The result? Boeing's market cap nosedived by $28.4 billion in just 48 hours. Deliveries of 84 jets, including the high-profile 737 and 787 Dreamliners, were halted. This wasn't about mechanical flaws. It was about symbolism. As Scott Kennedy from the Center for Strategic and International Studies noted, this was a pressure campaign targeting a vulnerable U.S. symbol. Boeing, the crown jewel of American aerospace innovation, had become a pawn in the geopolitical game. Across the Atlantic, Airbus cashed in. Chinese carriers pivoted almost overnight, and Airbus shares jumped 11.2%, proving that for every U.S. pain point, Europe was ready to offer an alternative. And if aviation was China's first economic pressure point, the next battleground had wheels and horsepower. From tariffs to turmoil, retailers and automakers reel. As global shipping froze, ripple effects slammed U.S. retailers and automakers. Five Below canceled $67 million in products already en route, while Amazon urged sellers to halt incoming shipments from China. Consumer sentiment dropped sharply, hitting 75.1, its lowest since mid-2022. But no sector felt the hit harder than auto manufacturing. Ford's Michigan plant shut down F-150 Lightning assembly due to missing microcontrollers. GM's Tennessee battery module output plummeted 60%, and Stellantis warned of delays in EV production, all stemming from part shortages tied to Chinese suppliers. By April's midpoint, over 41,000 vehicles had been removed from U.S. production lines, resulting in $1.6 billion in delayed revenue. Wholesale used car prices spiked 4.1% in just 1 week, the steepest rise since the 2021 chip crisis. Dealers slashed inventories by up to 30%, anticipating deeper disruption. Even high-end buyers were impacted. Ford increased Mustang Mach-E prices by $1,200, and Stellantis raised hybrid costs by 6.8%. This wasn't temporary inflation, it was a full-blown supply chain fracture that proved just how vulnerable automakers remain. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. So what's the fix? For many, the answer seemed obvious. Reroute the supply chain. But as we'll see, that path isn't so clear-cut. Supply chain detours, the harsh roadblocks to rerouting. On paper, cutting ties with China sounds like a bold fix. In reality, it's pure gridlock. Vietnam's ports hit 94% capacity in April, leading to delays stretching over 6 days. India, with its freight system skewed towards slower road transport, lacks the speed and efficiency to fill China's shoes. Even Mexico, once seen as the hero of nearshoring, now wrestles with 12.5-hour wait times at the Laredo border. Early movers like Tesla and Apple are already feeling the squeeze. Tesla shifted battery module production to Nuevo Leon, but congestion forced them to lease emergency warehouse space in Arizona. Apple's pivot to Tamil Nadu met with a 14% spike in defect rates compared to Shenzhen. And the rare earth bottleneck makes things worse. On April 12th, China clamped down on exports of dysprosium and terbium, vital for EV motors and defense systems. Lockheed Martin, Ford, and Raytheon sounded the alarm, but with 78% of U.S. rare earth still sourced from China, scalable alternatives won't arrive until 2026 at best. But just as chaos reached its peak, the geopolitical stage shifted once again. Truce at a crossroads, pause or permanent shift. On May 11th, in a twist few saw coming, the US and China hit the brakes on their trade war, agreeing to a 90-day tariff rollback. US import duties dropped from a punishing 145% to 30%, while China slashed its own from 125% to 10% and paused non-tariff barriers. Wall Street reacted with a sigh of relief. The S&P 500 rallied 2.8%, and shipping indexes surged. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called it a shared step back from economic self-harm, while Trump dubbed it a total reset, true to form. But is it really a fix or just a temporary timeout? Many retailers remain unconvinced. Amazon and Five Below are still holding back inventory orders. Freight companies report a 300% spike in blank sailings, ships leaving port without cargo. July 4th and Prime Day promotions? Quietly scaled down. The real issue isn't tariffs alone, it's trust. Lead times are wrecked, contracts are in limbo, and faith in China's just-in-time model has been deeply shaken. So where do we go from here? Verdict: temporary truce or a total rebuild. This wasn't a trade war fought with missiles, it was waged with microchips, shipping lanes, and rare earths. From grounded Boeing jets to stalled EV lines, the damage hit at the very core of modern manufacturing. The Geneva Truce may offer a moment to breathe, but it doesn't undo the logistical chaos or fractured supplier trust already in motion. So are we witnessing a true shift, or just the calm before the next storm? Automakers are rerouting but not fully recovering. Retailers remain hesitant, and global sourcing is more fragmented than ever. What do you think? Will this truce stick? Can the auto industry truly reduce its dependency on China? And when will consumers finally feel relief at the dealership? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your take, whether you're wrenching in your garage or watching the markets from your desk. If you're passionate about what drives the auto world, make sure to subscribe to Highway Herald. Tap that bell so you never miss the next update on the trends, tech, and twists shaping our automotive future. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's more exciting and informative content waiting for you.